Hello, my darling. This video is here to give you permission. Permission to receive, permission to expand, permission to be the fullest extension of who you are as the extension of the divine. I'm Tiara, aka Mama T. I am a healer. I am an oracle, clear channel. I am a mentor and spiritual guide, and I am the high priestess of Mama T energy. And today I want to channel some messages for you. So I'm going to start with pulling a card from the Light Seers Tarot deck. And the card that has come up for us today is the Seven of Cups, which is your reminder that you get to choose. Choosing your path, or choosing how you show up in the world, choosing your conversation, your beliefs, your knowing, your soul calling, all of it, you get to choose, which perfectly aligns with the conversation of today. I can even feel my throat starting to close up and get a little funky because this is like, a big conversation, right? It's gonna trigger some, I can feel it. And as I recognize and bring that awareness forward and drop into knowing that, hey, I'm still channeling my knowing, the voice is opening up. So there it is, right? Getting to choose. And I want to share in my story. So as I got into my own personal spirituality and starting to access my own personal gifts, I recall being in spaces where I would maybe divine for myself or whatever. I would pull forward information that I saw as my truth. And when I presented it to others, in an effort to seek validation, honestly, as I look back at it, I was seeking validation from others to say, like, am I doing this right? Am I good enough? Am I enough? And I would go to these people and I would be told, nope, you interpreted that incorrectly. No, that's not right. No. Or that's impossible that you pulled that information out of nowhere. No, you're not doing it right. You need to be in like close proximity to a mentor for X number of years before you could even have this gift, this knowledge, this understanding. There's no way, right? And I felt at that time this like grappling between like, but no, this is my, I know this to be right. And having that like good girl, people pleasing syndrome of like, but maybe these people might be right. And so my permission I want to give to you is follow your truth, follow your soul calling, and you'll know the difference between your mind at work and your heart, your spirit, the divine at work when you can feel it. You can feel it in your heart space. I know I do. You can feel it in the body. It resonates off of you. 333 as I say this, right? So like you will know. You can tell the difference. When you're in your mind, you're spiraling in so many different directions, but it's so quiet when these little moments show up. So in that, I ended up just like letting go. I knew it wasn't for me. I knew I didn't like it, and I moved myself away. And as I've continued on my journey, as I've continued following mentorship from people that felt correct to me in those moments, as I continued to grow, I learned about my human design, and I am a 2-4 generator, a 2-4 emotional generator, which means that one, as a 2, I'm a natural. I naturally, and 2-2, just shut up, 4-2-2. I am a natural at whatever it is that I have an affinity for. And so it is a reminder that, hey, you know what? While others may discredit, or even worse, if you will, I may discredit the gift because it just seems like it showed up so easily, that it just came forward without practice or anything. It just was such in flow that either I discredit it, or other people see it and may even take advantage of it because I can't even tell what I'm doing, right? And so I recognize this affinity for my own sacred gifts. And one of these gifts is my dream work. I will, go to sleep, have these vivid dreams, and come forward with a message. And I love to share those messages with you. And one of the messages that came through for me last night was, what if God is giving you, God, source, the universe, creator, highest self, the divine, is giving you a gift, is ready, so ready to give you something so extraordinary, but you are not ready to receive it. You can't even fully have gratitude for it. So why would God present it to you until you're ready to fully open up? For example, in the dream, I saw myself going on a trip, right? I was like, I have negative dollars in my bank account, and yet someone comes up and is like, let's go to Hawaii. I'll cover it. Don't worry about it. And this person is like a friend, a dear friend, but like someone that I would say society wouldn't deem as appropriate to be just gifting something so extraordinary, at least in my perception, right? They're a friend, not like a romantic partner. This friend is someone that would be considered of normal monetary means, not like they're a billionaire bestie that can just, throw out money willy-nilly. It would be somewhat of a sacrifice in some regard to bring along another person and fully pay their way, but it is their choice, right? And so in the dream, I was grappling with emotions of, fear of being seen as a user, fear and shame and guilt all around it. So I couldn't even enjoy this extraordinary gift and experience because I was so worried about the financial attachment to this experience and how I was either going to pay it back or how it was going to be perceived if I just let go and have fun in it. And so we can turn this into anything that we look at in our life as we receive from the divine. Because when we manifest, they come in through the path of least resistance, right? And if we create resistance on the easiest path, how are we going to receive it, right? So if we are receiving money from a friend, a family member, a job, or whatever, a business, if we're receiving this money, if we're receiving this gift, and all of a sudden we get into this headspace of, well, I can only receive from this avenue, I can't receive from that avenue, and I can't receive from that avenue, so on and so forth, and spiraling, then we start closing the gates to these avenues. We start shutting it down. God, source, the universe, highest self wants to give you extraordinary things, but you are blocking your blessing. And I feel like a broken record talking about this. And I even have a podcast episode that's entitled Receivership coming out, really going around this same similar concept. But this is coming, that is something I recorded weeks previous without this download. So I love that downloads get to build on top of similar concepts as we grow and expand and learn more on top of more on top of more. So with that, I want to invite you to check out that episode when it comes out on Thursday. I believe it'll be January 30th, 2025. But also, I really want you to lean in to, what do you want? Just looking at your life, like, what do you want? And how is it showing up for you? And do you have any particular attachment or making any particular meaning of the receiving of it? If you're wanting money and it's not coming through your job or your business, do you make it mean anything about you? going back to my dream, I was making it mean that I'm a user, and making it mean that I'm not worthy, and making it mean that I'm a bad person because I didn't have the means from a job or business to bring myself along on this journey. And yet I was gifted this beautiful experience, and I made it mean something negative, something contracting about me. If you're gonna make anything mean anything about you, why not make it expensive? I could have very easily switched the script and been like, oh, I am so blessed. I am so blessed to have such amazing friends. I am so blessed to be able to have this experience. I am so blessed. Like, I am in the God zone right now. How extraordinary is it that, and like in the beginning of my dream, I remember quite vividly, I'm like standing in my parents' home. It was very interesting. I was like standing in my parents' home, and the vacation plan was being discussed, and there was this like feeling in me where I was like, I could ask my family for this thing, but in my mind I'm like, if that's a frivolous thing, if I'm gonna ask for them to support me in any way, it should be like with my bills or with it, like something quote unquote responsible was like what was happening in the dream. And so, but I was just like, but I really, really want to go. And before I could even like set my tongue to saying anything, the friend was like, I'm going to take you. Like, I really want you to be here. And it was 11:22 as I said that. I'm going to take you. And I really want you to be there. Like this thing. And it's one, in that moment, I was like, like I could feel the contraction in the body and in the dream, right? Like this alternate timeline, right? And I recall, as I look back and as I analyze, as I'm thinking about it and sending love and energy to that time, in that moment, had I just taken like a breath, and instead of thinking about what are other people going to think about me, and what am I going to make this mean about me, if I had taken a breath and said, oh, this is God. This is God working out for me. This is the divine working out for me. I would have had an even more extraordinary experience throughout the course of the dream. That being said, the dream was meant to teach. That experience was meant to teach and show, one, the lack mentality that can flow within us, within myself, and within the collective, because I believe that we are all going through very similar experiences. And this story is going to resonate with someone out there. Maybe not every single person in the entire world, but there are enough people out there that will resonate with this story that I have to share it. As humans, we often are in this space of like trying to seek out validation through telling negative stories about our life. Like, oh, my day was so hard at work. Like, this happened at work, and that happened at work, and this happened. Like, my kid, shat all over the couch, and da happened. And like, my life is so tough is usually the rhetoric we hear. And there has been this energy around experiencing good things and sharing it with others to be perceived as bragging, to be perceived as just people have been made to block their blessing, but people have been made to bring shame to ease and peace. It's become a norm in society to lean into struggle and strife rather than ease and peace. It is a concept that we have to work hard to receive. It is a concept that we have to earn a living. It is this concept that puts us in this mentality where we are not enough by simply existing. But I want to give you the permission to choose, to go back to this 7 of Cups and choose peace, choose flow, choose ease. We've already done the struggle, the strife. And as things in this world are showing up that are creating more struggle and strife for a lot of the collective, we get to choose peace. We get to choose to be blessed. And your capacity for blessings is what you choose it to be. Message. So thank you so much for tapping in. I invite you to tap into Mama T energy in any way your soul feels called to do so, from one-on-one mentorship. If you are ready to walk with a mentor, one who is here to guide you through you. I am not here to create any sort of dharma for you, create any sort of belief structure for you that is not your own, that is not expansive for you. I want you to discover you. So I invite you on this journey. I have space for 2 people to seek one-on-one mentorship for a year with me. I have the Miracle Mastermind, a sacred space. I'm calling in 13 extraordinary individuals ready to lead and power in their lives. So let's grow together. And then I do have one-off private sessions if you're ready for readings, energy clearing and healing, or ritual. I offer that sacred space to you as well. So go ahead and tap in. I love you so, so much. And I'll see you where I see you next.